There are objects in your home right now that are silently feeding your unrest. Not because they are haunted, but because they hold a specific kind of energy, an energy that pulls you backward, weakens your spirit, disturbs your sleep, and clouds your focus. In Shaolin practice, the first rule of achieving inner stillness is cultivating outer clarity. They teach that certain objects can hold onto stagnation, pain, and old emotions, becoming silent invitations for what we call our inner demons, the anxiety, irritation, and heavy thoughts that rise for no clear reason. In this video, I will reveal the types of objects that disturb the energy of your home. Based on ancient insights that few outside the temple have ever heard, you will learn to see your own space differently and understand how letting go isn't just about cleaning. It's about resetting your entire spiritual path. If you have been feeling stuck or agitated, your journey to freedom might just begin on your own bookshelf. Welcome to Guiding Dharma. Subscribe now and let the inner clearing begin. Some things feel heavy before you even touch them. You walk into a room, and something is just off. You can't explain why, but your shoulders instinctively tense up, your breath shortens, and the silence in the room feels thick and heavy. This is not your imagination. This is your body's innate ability to read energy, what we call chi, and everything holds it. Every object, every piece of clothing, every forgotten corner of your home carries the subtle energetic traces of what has been felt around it. Joy, sorrow, fear, confusion, these energies stay. They don't simply disappear just because the event that created them is over. They settle, they cling, a gift received from someone who later betrayed you, a cracked mirror you never got around to replacing, a painting that has always made you feel a subtle sense of unease. But you keep it because it was expensive. These items carry what is known as discordant chi, energy that has lost its harmony. And when your environment holds confusion, your mind inevitably follows. Slowly, silently, you begin to feel off-center. You lose your clarity. You find yourself acting from a place of reaction instead of a place of peace. Shaolin practice teaches us this fundamental truth. When the outer world is imbalanced, the inner world is stirred. Unbalanced energy in your surroundings is not passive. It is an active mirror, reflecting something that is happening within you. This is why recognizing these objects is not a superstitious act. It is an act of profound self-study. It is about asking the honest questions. Why do I keep this? What part of me is still holding on to this story? Sometimes we cling to the past by carefully preserving its remains. That is when a simple shelf becomes a shrine to our old wounds. That is when your own room begins to whisper doubts into your sleep. This is why monks are told to keep very few things, and only those that uplift the spirit or support clarity. Not because material things are inherently evil, but because energy is real, and your home is not just a place you live in. It is an extension of your own energetic field. What surrounds you, shapes you, what you allow to stay, stays within you. 1. Symbols of fear, aggression, or sorrow. Not all darkness enters through the front door. Sometimes it sits quietly on your shelf, a statue with sharp, aggressive edges, a decorative mask frozen in a silent screen, a beautiful painting that is soaked in an undeniable sorrow. These items may look interesting or unique to the conscious eye, but in the stillness of the night, they hum with a heavier frequency, not because they are cursed, but because symbols have a language of their own, and the language they speak reaches your subconscious mind long before you realize it. In ancient teachings, symbols were treated with immense reverence. A single mark on a scroll could represent heaven, discipline, or death. The wise have always known that what you surround yourself with repeatedly and quietly enters you, shaping your faults without ever asking for your permission. You may not notice it at first, a vague feeling of unease when you pass a certain corner of your house, a restlessness in a room where you can't seem to relax. This is how subtle, negative energy works. Small, consistent drops over time, feeding a quiet tension, nurturing invisible roots of anxiety that seem to come from nowhere. Mastery in life is not only about great battles or powerful movements. It begins with what you allow into your sacred space, and why. The deeper part of you asks you to choose peace over possession. 2. Objects tied to regret or failure. Some items carry a weight that no physical scale can ever measure. A journal from a year of your life you would rather forget. A gift from someone who is no longer in your life, representing a painful ending. A certificate from a course you never finished. These things seem harmless, tucked away in drawers or stacked in forgotten corners, but their presence speaks, not in words, but in memory, in feeling, in the quiet, gravitational pull of the past. Shaolin discipline begins with awareness, not just of your breath and your body, but of what surrounds you. Every object carries an echo, and when an object is tied to regret, failure, or loss, that echo becomes a loop. Each time you see it, even unconsciously, it sends a subtle signal to your spirit. You failed, you lost, you missed your chance, and a part of you stays frozen there, replaying, resisting, and repeating the old pain. Mindfulness does not ask you to ignore your past. It asks you to finish it. Completion isn't about changing what happened. It is about changing your energetic relationship to it. To cling to objects from broken parts of your life is to freeze yourself in stories you have already outgrown. This is how emotional dust gathers in a home, and when enough of it builds up, even moving forward feels heavy and exhausting. The path of mastery is not just about what you gain in life, it is about what you are willing to release. That old photo, that unsent letter, that box under your bed, if it holds a feeling of regret, ask yourself this honest question: is this helping me to rise? Or is it holding me still? There is strength in release. There is clarity in closure. And sometimes, true peace comes not from fixing the past, but from no longer needing to carry its physical remains into your present. Free, digital and mental clutter. The room can be perfectly silent, yet your mind keeps spinning, not because someone is speaking, but because the screen is still glowing. Notifications stacked like demands. Browser tabs open like unfinished conversations. Algorithms feeding you thoughts and anxieties you didn't even ask for. This is the new clutter, It is shiny, digital, and endless. In ancient times, disturbance came from obvious sources: a loud voice, a sharp object, an argument still echoing through the walls. Now, the noise is quiet but constant. You scroll, you swipe, you refresh. Each of these small motions may seem insignificant, but each one scatters your chi, breaks the gentle rhythm of your breath, and pulls you out of the present moment. Shaolin tradition teaches stillness not as inactivity, but as power held in a quiet, concentrated form. When your attention is constantly fractured, your energy leaks. You may not feel it at first, but over time, a deep fatigue grows, your focus fades, your sleep becomes restless, the body tenses without you even knowing why. The screen doesn't just take your time, it takes your center. A warrior sharpens their blade in silence. You must learn to sharpen your presence by intentionally stepping away from the noise. 4. Clothing that holds emotional imprints. Clothing remembers what the conscious mind tries to forget. A bracelet you wore during a heated argument. A shirt from a day you were drowning in self-doubt. A necklace you clutched when jealousy burned through your chest. These items may feel familiar, but they are not always safe. They have touched your skin during moments of high emotional intensity, and whether you noticed it or not, they held on. In Shaolin understanding, all objects absorb qi, but those worn close to the body are especially potent. Fabric is porous, not just to sweat and scent, but to the very frequency of your emotions. Anger has a heat, sorrow has a heavy, cool weight. These energetic qualities don't simply vanish when the moment passes. They settle into the fibers of what you wear. They cling, and then, one day, you put on that same item again, and something inside you shifts. You feel tense, heavy, or reactive for no obvious reason. It's not the color, it's not the fit, it is the memory, trapped in the threads. This is why spiritual traditions across all cultures emphasize the importance of ritual cleansing, not just for spaces, but for garments, tools, and jewelry, to clear what lingers, to restore purity to what has been imprinted. Mastery asks for awareness in even the smallest things, not out of fear, but out of a deep respect for the energetic field you carry. 5. Inherited objects with heavy histories. Some things are passed down through generations with more than just hands. An old watch from a father who lived with unspoken regret. A ring from a grandmother who carried a deep, quiet sorrow. A painting gifted to you by someone whose smile always felt strained. These objects carry more than their shape and material. They carry the energetic weight of untold stories. Energy is not limited to living bodies. It moves through memory, emotion, and into matter. And when someone gives you something, especially if they are carrying unresolved pain, the object can become a vessel, a silent witness to what was never healed in their own life. You may not know the full history, and you don't need to, but sometimes you can feel it, a sense of heaviness when you wear the ring, a strange resistance when you hang that painting, a subtle discomfort. Nothing loud, just enough to unground you. Shaolin insight reminds us that physical possession alone means nothing. What truly matters is resonance. Is the energy of this object in harmony with the energy you are trying to cultivate in your own life? Does it align with your intention for peace and clarity? This question of resonance is the key. Recognizing these types of objects is the first crucial step in clearing your space. But what is the next step? How do you actually cleanse an object you wish to keep? What are the simple, powerful Shaolin rituals for not just removing, but transforming the energy of your home? And what is the one rule that monks follow to protect their minds from these subtle intrusions? That is where our journey continues. This question of resonance and intention is the key. If an object was created or given in a state of love, its energy naturally lifts and supports you. But if it came from a place of fear, guilt, or emotional confusion, it can subtly cloud your space. This doesn't mean all inherited items are dangerous. It means you must learn to listen. Objects speak in the silence. They ask, "Do I belong with you now, or am I asking to be released?" There is no shame in letting go. There is no dishonor in giving thanks for the gesture and then returning an item to the earth, to the fire, or to another hand who may carry it differently. Or you can choose to keep it, but you must consciously cleanse it through ritual, through meaning, through your own clear intention. You are not a storage space for other people's unresolved energy. Your home, your body, and your energetic field must be a clear reflection of your path. And that requires a courageous discernment, not just of what you receive, but of what you choose to continue to carry. Peace comes from choosing what surrounds you with clarity, with alignment, and with your full, conscious presence. 6. The clutter of excess. Not all burdens feel heavy on the surface. Some are polished, gleaming, and hung in gold frames. A shelf crowded with rare things you feel you should own to appear sophisticated. A room designed more to impress guests than to bring you a sense of rest. Expensive items chosen not for their intrinsic meaning, but for their price tag. These are the silent architects of unrest. They are beautiful, they are admired, but they are subtly unsettling. In Shaolin tradition, the outer always reflects the inner, and too much of anything, even beauty, can become energetic noise. Excess awakens craving. It feeds the part of the mind that is never satisfied, the part that constantly compares, competes, and always wants just one more thing. You may walk into a room like this and feel a strange sense of unease without knowing why. There is no true peace in a space designed to display superiority. It constantly demands your attention. It quietly whispers unsettling questions. Do I have enough? Am I enough? What will others think of me? This is not a rejection of wealth or beauty. True mastery never fears abundance, but it is a solemn warning about obsession and attachment. When your identity becomes entangled with the objects you own, your spirit shrinks to match their shape. Simplicity, in contrast, invites stillness. A single, well-placed bowl, a plant tended with care, an empty wall that allows your mind to breathe. These are not signs of lack. They are profound signs of presence. Discipline is choosing what supports your energy, not what flatters your ego. A quiet space is not empty. It is alive with possibility. And when you let go of the need to be seen as successful, you begin to truly feel successful, calm, centered, and unshaken. 7. Broken or stagnant sacred objects. Even sacred things have their time. An incense holder that is chipped at the base, a talisman that cracked after protecting you through a difficult season, a scroll with prayers that are now faded and curled at the edges. These were once powerful companions, used with devotion and placed with care, but over time they have become quiet echoes, no longer alive with presence, but just symbols, worn, forgotten, and stagnant. In the temple, students are taught to treat their spiritual tools with respect, but not with sentimental attachment. A broken object is not cursed, but if it is left untouched, unused, and uncared for, its energy shifts from sacred to stagnant. Its purpose dissolves. What once reminded you to return to yourself now simply blends into the background, becoming a part of the room's furniture, not a part of your active practice. True reverence isn't in clinging to the past. It's in honoring the natural cycle of life, creation, use, completion, and release. It is easy to hold on to these items out of sentiment. This was from my first retreat. This protected me during a hard time, but when their energy fades, they no longer serve your present self, and keeping them becomes a form of spiritual clutter, subtle but real. Letting go of what is broken or has served its purpose doesn't dishonor your journey. It affirms it. It is a quiet, powerful declaration that says, "Thank you for your service. I have grown. I am now ready for what comes next." 8. Neglected and forgotten spaces. Energy doesn't just live where you look. It lives where you forget. That storage room you never enter, the back of a closet you haven't opened in months, a corner of the garage collecting dust, old boxes, and tangled wires. These places might seem unimportant, out of sight, out of mind, but your home's energy, your chi, moves through all of it, and what you ignore doesn't simply disappear. It settles, it stagnates. Shaolin wisdom teaches that your environment is a direct extension of your mind. Just as tension in the body often hides in small, overlooked muscles, tension in the home hides in neglected spaces. These forgotten areas become pockets of profound stagnation, chi that is blocked, trapped, and heavy. Walk slowly through your home one day, not with the intention to clean, but with the intention to see. Notice where your breath shortens. Notice the corners your attention instinctively skips over. These are signals. Your body feels what your conscious eyes have stopped registering. The goal is not about making every corner of your home perfect. It is about making every corner intentional, even the simplest act, sweeping a floor, folding a cloth, opening a curtain to let a bit of light reach a dark corner, can shift the entire energy of a room. And in turn, your own neglect creates distance from yourself. Presence restores connection. 9. The practice of cleansing and maintenance. Your home speaks, if you move slowly enough to hear it. Each room holds a unique rhythm. Some flow like clear water, others feel stuck, sharp, or heavy. These subtle impressions are easy to miss when you are rushing through your day. but when you walk with quiet awareness, they reveal themselves. This is energy speaking. It is not superstition. It is heightened sensitivity. Shaolin practice teaches not only how to move the body, but how to read a space, to feel where qi flows freely and where it pools and becomes stagnant. You do not need special tools for this. You only need your presence. Start with your breath, slow, even, and deep. Let your feet touch the floor as if you are meeting it for the first time. Step into each room with quiet, open attention. What do you notice? The quality of the air, the stillness, the way the light touches certain objects. If something feels off or heavy, honor that feeling. Then perform a simple act of cleansing. Light a stick of incense or a bundle of sage, not as a superstitious ritual, but as a tool for resetting the energy. Watch the smoke rise and curl. Let it drift into the corners of the room. As it does, speak simple, powerful words that ground and clear the space. Words like, I release all energy that no longer serves this home. I invite peace and clarity into this sacred space. These small acts matter more than you know. They shift the energetic field, not just around you, but within you. Your nervous system responds. Your thoughts soften. Your breath deepens. This is the practice of daily maintenance, not just of your space, but of yourself. Discipline is not only found in rigorous martial forms, it is found in the way you mindfully open a window, the way you pause before entering a room, the way you consistently choose calm over clutter. A house that is cleansed with presence becomes more than a shelter. It becomes a partner on your path, a quiet ally, and a perfect mirror for your own internal state. When you remove the objects that disturb your space, you are not just cleaning your home, you are practicing the art of clarity. You are making a quiet, powerful decision. I will no longer carry what pulls me away from my peace. This is not superstition. It is self-mastery in its simplest and most profound form. The objects we keep are not mere decorations. They are reflections of what we value, what we avoid, and where we are still holding on. The Shaolin path doesn't demand grand, complicated rituals. It asks for daily awareness, a calm eye, a steady hand, and the courage to let go, again and again, until only that which truly aligns with your spirit remains. So, walk through your home as if it were a temple, not with fear, but with deep care. Let your discipline shape your surroundings, and in turn, let your surroundings remind you of the clear, calm, and powerful person you are becoming. Thank you for walking this path of clarity with us today. If this message has brought a new awareness to you and your sacred space, please subscribe to Shaolin Soulfire and stay close. Our journey together is quiet, it is powerful, and it is just beginning. And now, I would love to hear from you. In the comments below, share one small thing you feel inspired to release or cleanse from your own space after watching this. Let's support each other in this powerful act of clearing. May your home be a sanctuary, and may your spirit be at peace within it. Until next time.